Okay, I'm recording. Okay, so yeah, welcome to the legal working group sync. Since it's Pablo's first time to join, I don't know if you've met Griff, but I just want to introduce ourselves. So yeah, I'm the acting steward for the legal working group. I introduced myself with you in the chat. So yeah, and welcome to this sync call. And during this call, we usually do a brainstorming around the legal documents that we're preparing for the team. And by the way, I'm based in the Philippines. I pass it to Griff.
Hey Pablo, I've been in the DAO space for a long time. Been pushing this kind of stuff forward for a while, and really focused on pushing all the public goods like DAO funding. And I architected a lot of the legal strategy, honestly, but I'm kind of full of shit when it comes to this stuff. I'm definitely making it up. Uh, but I have been dealing with it since 2016, and have basically come to the understanding that like we'll see is probably like the best answer for most of it, especially when it comes to bonding curves and raising money through economics for charity. Uh, so it's like a very like I think a very accepting gray area of crypto more than like let's start an exchange and be a money transmitter and try to make as much money as we can. So anyway, that's the angle that I've been going at it is like, well, they'll probably give us a fair pass, like they did with me and the Dow before. Yeah, that's kind of my jam. What about you, Pablo?
Okay. Nice to meet you. Well, I'm currently I'm working on with Status, the decentralized messaging app. I'm like collaborating with them for the legal operations and regulation uh, to be up to date on the regulation about crypto and everything that it's related to. So I'm not. I'm just maybe probably the last 3 or 4 months. I'm just starting to take a look to the all the aspects of DAO, but that I'm new to that environment, so I'm just trying to understand better how can it work. So basically, I'm joining the team. I haven't read a lot about this initiative, but I'm in the process of having more information so I can contribute with anything that it's required um, on this great initiative. Yeah.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you in this call because we've been waiting for a legal expert to join us, and I'm sure that your insights would be valuable to the TEC. So we're so lucky to actually have you here. Um,
Mm.
I dropped the agenda in the legal chat uh, channel. So just I don't know if you can see it, or should I share my just share my screen?
And while she's doing that, let me just say thank you for helping Status out. I love Status. I'm good friends with Jared, and I consider myself good friends. I think he would too. And he, yeah, I actually helped out with the Status ICO. So that was I was part of that mess, and you're probably dealing with the repercussions now. So I'm sorry in advance.
Yeah, no problem. We are just. I think we are doing well. It's just like you need to be like aware anytime because regulators are trying to regulate what it's unregulatable. So you need to be just aware of that. Yeah.
So yeah, right now before the commons upgrade, these are the three important documents that are critical to the commons upgrade. So we have the community covenant. So it's here. I don't know if you're familiar with covenant, Pablo. I think this one was patterned from One Hive, if I. So yeah, this has actually been reviewed by Sean previously, but Livia revised it to integrate the feedback from the community. So the next step for this would be to go through the community vote, but we're hoping to get the feedback from. I don't know if there's any risk actually that in giving it a go without having reviewed by a legal expert, but I think it would be nice to have your feedback. Um, I actually checked this and I saw that the feedback were integrated, but I'm not sure if from the legal perspective if there's any item here that should be that needs to change from or there might be any issue from the legal perspective.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I think maybe I can add just a little context.
Right.
Before anyone votes on anything or before they can propose anything to our DAO, they have to sign this covenant. They can buy tokens and sell tokens without signing this covenant, but to interact with our actual DAO and the money that the DAO has collected, to interact with that in any way, they have to sign this covenant first.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for that additional information. Yes, sure. I can take a look to that community covenant and see if I can uh, find something relevant that needs to be incorporated or even removed or it's necessary to modify or add something. Um, yeah. I can do that.
Amazing! Oh, that's great. I need. I did it a while ago too. I want to give it a read too. But do you have the link?
I was about to ask Evie if she can share the link with me
If
on
you go to
the chat.
if the legal chat channel, I dropped the agenda there, and I also
Okay.
I put
Okay.
the link in the
Great.
agenda.
Okay. Thank you.
Well then, maybe maybe we should just quickly go over the other document that could use legal review too, and
Yep.
then if we can spend most of the time brainstorming on the conviction voting thing, which has a very rough draft, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, uh, do we want to go through the covenant drift, or we just wait for because I read it yesterday, and I think it's pretty straightforward, and I think there's no what do you call this? There is no critical topic that needs unless you find something that you want special attention from a legal expert.
No, if there's nothing that you saw in your first cursory, I think if we just both, Pablo and I, read through it with a legal hat on, because I've read through it, but I haven't put the legal hat on. I put on other
Yeah.
hats. Is the community going to enjoy this? Is it entertaining? How's the grammar? But I haven't put on that legal hat, so I really need to read it through with that perspective.
Okay. Yeah. I can do the reading also this weekend. I can share
Okay.
some comments if needed.
Okay. So let's just jump to the rough draft of the terms and conditions for submitting proposals. So I tried to look for existing terms from other DAOs. I only found terms from Gitcoin and Gnosis DAO. And what I did is just pulled out those sections that I think are applicable to TEC, though I might have missed other sections from those terms. And then in this document, I grayed out those the original wordings from these two DAOs, and then these are the draft that I made. Yeah, so we can go through each section and see if I also want to ask you, Griff, if you think it's okay to use the exact words from Gitcoin and Gnosis DAO. But for this one, I got this from our handbook, from the Git book. But for other sections, mostly I just replaced the names. I don't know if that's okay.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. I'm pretty sure Kevin would be very pleased if we used his work. Same with Martin from Gnosis. I don't think they'll be mad. I know they won't be mad. Let me say it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Basically, all you can use. This is like a very different environment, no, so you can use it and adequate it as needed. But just the thing that I was talking with Ivy, it's that um, I was thinking that probably the best way to have these terms is to change it to terms of use, because sometimes the terms and conditions can be like if you are delivering some kind of service and may have different level of responsibility, and sometimes the terms of use are I'm just providing this service and you are entirely responsible if you decide to use it or not. So that's something that I saw um, on the first time I read. I haven't finished reading all the 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 document, but in a general perspective, I think that it could be very helpful to rename it to terms of use and change some provisions to in such sense, you know. But
Uh,
I don't know what do you think about that.
the first document that I sent you is different from this one. The other document that I sent you is the terms for using the augmented bonding curve. So I think it's yeah, we can replace it with terms of use. But for this one, it's for submitting proposals for conviction
Mm.
voting. So I don't know if terms of use is still appropriate for it for submitting proposals.
Okay, got it.
Actually, in the agenda, yeah, the third document. This is the one that I sent you before, so we can change it with the terms of use. I haven't replaced it yet, but yeah, this is the this document is almost ready. We're just waiting for the parameters to be set, and then but of course we also appreciate if you can give it another look and give a recommendation if there's anything that you think should change. But what we need a lot of help with this one because it's not it's this is a very rough.
Okay.
Yeah, and maybe I can give you some context on this one too, right?
Okay.
So it's have you heard of conviction voting at all? Have you used I think it's called Assemble? Is it called Assemble? Like um, Status actually used. Oh no, never mind. They didn't use conviction voting. But have you heard of conviction voting before at all?
Yes, a little bit, yeah.
Amazing. So do you know the context, like how it works at all?
Yes, but probably if you can share something with me, it would be like very great as I'm just
Definitely.
getting started here.
Because I think even if you knew a little bit about it, it would be like there's specific user flow, right? So
Right.
first off, conviction voting is to get into conviction voting. First, they have to sign the covenant, right? So whether they want to propose or whether they want to vote, they have to sign this covenant, and
Okay.
then so that's like a nice barrier, right? But then if they want to propose, they have to also put down a deposit. So
Okay.
there's actually a deposit like mechanism where they have to go get TEC tokens and lock them in a deposit contract. And then
Okay.
when they have enough money in that deposit contract, they can submit proposals. And that proposal will automatically take their money out of that deposit contract and put it in their proposal. Uh,
Okay.
that proposal. So when they're submitting the proposal, they already put some money into the deposit. So now that's being used. If the proposal is active, then that money is in that proposal. If they want to submit another proposal, they'll need more money in the deposit contract to submit more proposals if they want, right? If if they want, these voting things are not time based. So they'll put up a proposal and it'll stay up there forever. It'll just stay up there forever, but their money's locked in it. So if they want their money back, they have to, you know, take down the proposal. So it doesn't ever go down on itself. There's only two ways for it to go down. Number one, the person takes back their proposal. Number two, it gets passed. Or I guess there's three ways. Number two, it gets passed, and then money is sent wherever they said for it to be sent.
Okay.
Someone has to click a button to enact. You know, smart contracts are a little stupid, despite the name. So, like, even though the vote has passed, someone has to click a button, but anyone in the world can click that button to execute the proposal, and then the money will go to the person. When the third way that the proposal can be taken down, that's right, three, is that if it is challenged. So if the proposal does not meet the terms of the covenant in the eyes of someone else, they can put up a challenge deposit. And so then they can say this vote does not meet the terms that the covenant says. This is not in the best interest of the token engineering commons. This is in some way attacking the token engineering commons or isn't following the procedure laid out in the covenant. So then they put up money and this other token called Honey. And I believe the default settings are that when someone challenges the proposal, then the person who proposed has to also put up another token called Honey. And so if they don't put up that, okay, this is where it gets a little complicated. So when someone challenges the proposal, they have to put up money and honey, and they also have to make an offer. They can say, "Hey, you should take down your proposal. It's not good, but you can keep your deposit," right? Or they say, "Hey, your proposal is attacking us, and I'm going to take your deposit if because I want to challenge this." And it's basically like making an offer, and the offer could be, "I take all of your proposal deposit." And then if for the challenge, the person who makes the proposal has 5 days to respond. So if they accept, they don't have to do anything. If they don't do anything, then they automatically accept the offer that the challenger made, which could be the deposit goes back, or the deposit is taken from them, or somewhere in between. Could just be a $5 fee. It's up to the challenger. Or they can put up honey and say, actually, this does follow the covenant. And let's take it to a decentralized court called Celeste. And so the honey token is for this decentralized court, and jurors will be selected to read the case and the honey from whoever loses goes to the jurors, and the deposit goes to wherever it is supposed to be. The challenger loses their deposit, or the proposer loses their deposit, right? Or whatever the deal was.
Okay, that's very interesting. And how in which platform it's the decentralized jurors?
It's called
Which
Celeste, and it's an external. It's relatively external.
okay. Huh?
And
Seems
I can give you some content on Celeste. Here's I'll post it in the legal channel.
okay. Thanks. So these basically all these terms and conditions are the ones that the person that it's proposing needs to meet in order to be um, approve his proposal, right?
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
And so there's
Celeste.
there's this Celeste stuff, which is the Celeste stuff in there very much, Ivy?
I only added it in this section under the dispute and complaints procedure. I actually got this from the covenant. I don't know in which section we should also mention it, because I'm thinking that the process of submitting proposals should be in another document, or do we include it here? Because I feel like it shouldn't be here because this is only the. But yeah, I mentioned Celeste in this section. I think it should be there.
I think this is the terms and conditions for voting.
Oh,
Or
okay.
sorry, no, sorry, for proposing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
For proposing, yeah.
For submitting
so the
proposals.
Celeste stuff. So the Celeste stuff definitely needs to be in there.
I actually have a question here though that the difference.
Just a question: is there like any like I'm not I don't like the word, but like penalty if someone is like challenging um, proposals without uh, 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 good reason, or just to
Yeah.
it
They,
may happen. No, I know
it
it's not
it's
common, but
it's not enforced by us, it's enforced by Celeste. But yes, they will lose. They have to put up a deposit to make a
mm,
challenge. And
yeah,
if
okay.
they lose that challenge, then they lose
You
their
lose the
deposit.
honey. Yeah, okay. The honey is the token for challenging, right? And it's
There's
the token
two
that you're going
tokens.
to lose. Mm,
So there's a TEC token, which is for the
yeah.
deposits. And then the challenger needs to put TEC token to match the proposal deposit. And they have to
Mm,
add honey.
okay, got
So
it.
the honey is for the jurors in the case that it goes to Celeste. And the deposit is for the person who was made the proposal, and it was a just proposal. They get the challenge deposit if they win.
Okay, yeah. So it's in both ways. If I'm challenging something that it's uh, with in any basis, I will receive the deposit of the challenger. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, that's a good uh, like structure to avoid that. Yeah,
The over challenging.
yeah, just without any reason.
Yeah, Celeste is super cool. It's modeled after Aragon Court, which had, man, years of thought put into it. But honestly, there, just as background, there is a lot of pushback to this shelling point game, as they call it, because the shelling point isn't exactly correct. It ends up being like, it's not like the perfect solution, but it's a good solution, you know? It's a practical solution. So, like, there are theories on ways to make this better that are very difficult to implement, but this is like the MVP version that will probably work as expected 95 to 99% of the time.
Okay.
And
That was very useful. Thanks for all that info.
and the other thing with Celeste is that after the jurors decide, they can escalate their decision if they can appeal. And I believe they can appeal 6 times. But each time it costs more and more honey to appeal.
Okay.
So should we go through the terms dissection?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
And welcome, Anson. We're just going through legal documents.
I kind of like watching legal documents, dude. It's
Nice.
No, I've been working with a bunch of lawyers lately. We've been setting up I'm connecting to a nonprofit versus setting up an LLC. And it's going well. Got an umbrella 501 in Virginia that'll handle everything. It's good to see you guys.
Always a pleasure.
Hi.
There's links in the there's links in the legal channel.
Actually, do we call it TE Commons and drop the word DAO in there?
Yeah. The idea is that commons means kind of a special kind of DAO. So it'd be like saying it's a goldfish fish.
Pablo, do you think for this document, do we call it terms and conditions, or do you think terms of use is more appropriate?
No, I think with all the context you have gave to me, I think it makes a lot of sense to remain that way as terms and conditions. Yeah.
And should we specify this as submitting proposals, or we keep it just proposal?
I think it's good to clarify submitting, because I think there will be another ones to challenge, right?
I don't know if we need terms and conditions for challenging proposals, or
No. Okay.
We were going to use this one terms and conditions for both challenging and proposing, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
It's just
Proposals.
proposals, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Any and I
Do you think that we should make a separate one for challenging?
No, I don't think so. I thought that there was like another document, but I think it's if they are going to be from the same, there's no problem. They're going to be in the same document. Yeah.
think so. Yeah, we can just skip this one. I just put this here to compare what Bitcoin has. Modifications of terms of use. So this basically just to let them know that we can modify these terms, and they that submission of proposals after the modification means that they still accept the terms. So it has been modified. How about this, Griff? Will it be posted on? I don't know where it will be where this will be posted.
Where will it be posted?
Yeah.
We'll make a little checkbox. So like when someone wants to submit a proposal, I mean I can show you in the inner gardens if you'd like. Let me just like. It'll take me a second to get it to load, but this is our test garden. But it doesn't want to load right now. 0F7.
So you mean the terms will only appear only when they submit a proposal. They can't check the terms without submitting a proposal. I was thinking that maybe it should be posted somewhere that they can check before they even submit the proposal.
They can. Man, our demo is not wanting to really play. Let's see. I swear it works most of the time. But when you click create a proposal, it has like you can select a funding proposal, and I'm going to try to get the gardens people to add like terms and conditions, and have a little box, a checkbox that will say like, okay, you're asking, here's the forum post link, here's the how much money you're asking for, click this box to sign our terms and conditions, and then here's a grayed out button that you can only click if this checkbox is clicked.
But I was thinking that maybe we can also have this document available somewhere that even before they bother creating a proposal, they can already review the terms, not just when they submit and then they have to click. But I don't know where we can put that.
I would say the forum, because they have to post on the forum in the proposal section and make a forum post, or that's the expected pattern. So, because they're not gonna, the proposal won't pass if they don't have a forum post. So, we can probably add it to the proposals portion.
Okay, I changed it in the document that it will be posted in the other form, and then we can just drop the link here once it's available.
It's because I'm not connected. Okay, so yeah. And just like for more context, if you can see my screen. So like here's where they'll sign the covenant, and they'll have to sign the covenant before they can continue forward, and it'll all be right here. And then when they want to create their proposal, they'll have to add funds to the deposit manager. So I don't know if I can add funds to the deposit manager. We'll see. But yeah, and then when we've added funds, then they can get the screen that says like, oh, how much money are you asking for? And give us a link to the forum proposal. I think this transaction might fail. We'll see. Yeah, because all of my TC are locked. So like I don't have liquid TEC, I only have frozen TEC. So I can't actually show you guys the process.
I guess we can check it back.
Once we open once we open the bonding curve, then I can go buy tokens and then I can actually make proposals. But right now the bonding curve needs to be voted to be open in this vote right here, the open bonding curve vote. And then we'll have liquid tokens available.
Okay. So I guess we can move on to the next section unless Anson or Pablo has anything to add in this section.
No, I would like to review all the documents um, with you know with all the information you are giving me. So probably I can do this same weekend to review everything and just drop some comments on the legal channel.
Yes. And tag me if you have any questions.
Sure, thank you.
Thanks, Pablo. Okay, this section, actually, I'm not sure if we need this one, the eligibility, and I don't know what will be the criteria for being eligible to be a proposer. This criteria were taken from Gitcoin terms. I just chose those I think that might be applicable, but I don't know if there's anything to add or change here. Griff, do you have any idea if we should have a criteria for being eligible, or if this criteria are applicable? TEC.
Honestly, oh, sorry, I wasn't muted. Honestly, I don't know. I imagine that we should say this basic stuff. That's like, if you're not legal to interact, if it's not legal for you to interact with this, then don't. uh, but I would ask Pablo what he thinks.
Mm. I see. I see. Oh, I see that they're fine. Let me just check it all in integral way, and but probably. Hmm.
Since Griff mentioned that this document will be for submitting and challenging proposals, I think we should also specify the eligibility to be a challenger. But I don't have the wording for that yet, so I think we can decide on what, or if you have any existing criteria for challengers in Celeste, Griff, you can drop the link here so we can make the wording around.
Are you in the One Hive Discord, Ivy?
No, I'm not. Maybe I should be there.
I'll add you there, and I actually was during this call asking them if they had any terms and conditions or anything, and maybe you can help me watch their channel. You want to make sure that you can see the Gardens channel.
Okay. So yeah, we only have the eligibility criteria here for the proposers since this is existing in Gitcoin terms, but for Challenger, I still have to look for another source or reference so we can draft the wording around this topic. But does it Pablo, do you think it makes sense to also include the eligibility for a challenger, or can it be included in just?
I think it makes sense to be the same conditions. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Can we move on to the next section? This one, Griff. I don't know the exact fees and payment for proposing. I think it will still be decided after the commas upgrade. Does it or has there been any has it been established like the fees for submitting proposals? Or
It's
it's
it's pretty it there's defaults, but in the end we won't know for certain until at earliest the 21st, at latest after in January sometime.
okay. That's what I
But we
thought.
might know there's strong defaults. No one's really been changing the defaults, so we can we'll probably know on the 21st.
So I guess we can just draft the wordings here and then have a placeholder for the value until the commas upgrade.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm starting to question whether or not, just looking over this document, whether or not we should have a separate one for proposer and a separate one for challenger. Maybe they should be separate. I just assumed we would put it all in one, but I see how this is all structured, pointed at you, proposer, and maybe it's more work to have it all in one versus just having two separate ones where we control replace proposer and then change things to challenger. I don't know what you think, Ivy,
so
which
if
is less work.
I think it's less work if we combine them in just one document. That's what I think. But I want to know if you're a challenger. Of course, you also have to click something that you agree to these terms before you challenge a proposal, right?
Yeah, so I could get into the challenger view, and I posted a screenshot of what it looks like to challenge a proposal.
And
And so you can, I took a screenshot and put it in legal.
I mean, if there are sections in this document that might not be applicable for challengers, and then maybe it should be a separate document. But if the sections will be just basically the same for the proposer and the challenger, then might as well have just one document.
The only thing that'll be different is that the proposer is asking for money to do work, and the challenger isn't, right? So, so the proposer might actually get paid to do stuff, and is kind of supposed to do it. Like, hey, the terms and conditions are that you need to like do what you say you're gonna do. Whereas the challenger is like, has a little bit of a different context. They're putting up money, and that like dynamic is the same with Celeste, where they have to go to this court thing, but they're just saying like, I think their document would be way simpler, and we could probably copy paste the proposer one and then delete a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, we can. I think we can do that.
I think it's in the end, Ivy, this has definitely got to be your call because I know you're the one who's going to make all of this happen. So, if you think it should, whichever direction you think is easier, I don't think either one is preferred. Do you think either one is preferred, Pablo?
I I think my opinions is like maybe we can make the terms for proposers, and then once it's finished, we can go through this each section and see if these are all applicable for the challengers. If we're just gonna say use the same wording for the challengers terms and conditions, and then we can decide later on if we can copy paste and put in a different document and remove the sections that are not applicable. Because I feel like there will be more terms for proposers than challengers. It's easier to take out than to add. So
I like it.
Miss Pablo, you have any opinion on that?
Um, not at this point. Sorry, I would like to, as I'm just understanding everything, I would like to review all the documents. All the items in just one full revision. So maybe I can drop some comments.
Okay.
I know it's not the I know that this call is uh, exactly for that, but as I'm just trying to understand everything, I would like to review them um, in an integral way, So
No problem.
I will be sure to drop some comments
Thank you.
this weekend. Yeah.
Okay. So we have 9 minutes left. So I just want to go through each section first before we can. I mean, before we proceed with doing the work of drafting the content. Just want to check with you if which sections are necessary and which sections are not, and we can remove them. And then yeah, or what sections should still be added. So for sure, this one is necessary, but for recurring, I assume we will have recurring proposals, especially from the working groups. Does it?
So I think this looks like it's pulled from Gitcoin, and so like in Gitcoin they have grants and they just stay up there and get funded with, and they don't have a proposal amount, right? It's like, here's our grant and we just get it every round, and however much money people send us. And I think with us, I wouldn't use the word recurring. They will have to repost every time, right? So they'll have to sign the terms and conditions every time. There's never like a proposal that sits there and then just gets like a recurring task in GitHub where you go and add it up again. That doesn't happen.
Okay, so we can take this out, right?
I think so.
And then partnerships. I think this is an interesting topic that should be included in the terms, but I don't know if you all agree.
Yeah. Yeah, love it. Didn't even think about that.
I actually got this from Gnosis.
Good job, Gnosis.
Yeah, and
And good
then
job, Ivy. That's great.
how about for the multisig signers? Should they be here as should be included in the terms? I
There,
guess.
I wouldn't say multi-sig signers. I would say like T Commons token holders.
Okay, but now I'm thinking about it. This terms will be signed by proposers, not by multisig signers. So I think multisig signers should have a different. Um, or is it
There,
okay to
yeah,
include it here?
there are there are no proposers, or there are no multi-sig signers.
But yeah, but I mean the content for this section is not for the proposers. So I don't
Okay.
know. But I know this is important. I think this is important to have, but I don't know where, in which document we should include that.
Um,
Or I don't know if it's actually relevant, but I thought it's interesting.
actually, I kind of like this line that's like, listen, if you have fees, and that in regards to proposing, like gas fees, for instance, we don't. That has nothing to do with us. You're paying someone else, and like you're paying the XDI network, and we're not responsible for money that you spend paying gas fees. So I do like that, but for proposers, not for.
And then it will go into actually go. It will go. I think it will be covered in section 4, the proposal fees and payment.
Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, thank you.
It include the gas fees.
Okay, that's already taken out. Then I would say this doesn't. Then we don't need this.
Sorry, guys. I need to go to another call in a couple of minutes. But I promise that I will review all the documents and let's a lot and try to contribute and collaborate with this and send and share some suggestions, if any. Um, so thanks for all the context that you gave to me, and I promise that I will review this on this same weekend.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so
Pablo.
much.
Yeah, and if there's anything you need, or if there's any way that we can help you in other ways too, if you want to learn more about crypto or something like that, like in general, and have any general questions, you can always DM me or Ivy about anything. I'm very knowledgeable about crypto questions, and am always happy to support you, especially if you're working for Status. I want to help you, further your crypto knowledge. So I'm always here
Thank you.
for support. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay,
Pablo.
well, see you next call, and will be in touch for sure these next few days.
Thanks, Pablo.
Okay,
Pablo.
see you. Bye.
Um, okay, and then the remaining sections, Griff, the dispute. I know this is important, so I think this is okay. How about the platform security? Do you think be there?
We have a really nice already written one from the Hatch, or like the Hatch terms, and it's like all of this like, oh my God, if Ethereum could shut down and we'd be screwed, all these terms in big bold caps, and it might be better just to copy paste from there, because that
Okay.
was heavily reviewed by 4 different lawyers.
Okay. Okay, I'll look into that and see what I can copy paste in this document.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me want to go through the sections for Gitcoin terms and see if there is anything that might be relevant to us as well. Listen. How about this one? Do you think we should have something like this too? Um,
Sure. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't know what it means really, but I think it's probably good to have it in there than not to have it in there. And also, I think this copy. Well, I guess no one's making claims. Binding arbitration and class action waiver. That's great.
do we include this one too?
That looks pretty good.
I actually haven't read through this yet, but I will read it again. See if they will be included, or maybe I will just add them in the document and see what Pablo thinks if these are relevant to submitting proposals.
The other thing, and I think this is kind of an interesting thing, but we're talking about it for the Trusted C2 with the Albany, incorporating in Albany. So maybe we should do that for the TE Commons as well and just put it in Albany.
Okay. I thought it's Alderney. Can you drop the name of the
Is it
Alderney?
Alderney?
That's what
It
I
could
thought.
be.
I'm not sure.
I mean, honestly, no, you're probably right. You're probably right. It's probably Alderney. Unfortunately, I think Albany is also one. Let me see. Albany. Oh no, it's a different place. Okay, yeah, you're right. It's Alderney. Oh, okay.
Just before we wrap up the call, Griff, I wanted to clarify. So the next step for the covenant, we wait for Pablo to take a look before we give it a go to Livia.
Yes, just tell Livia that Pablo is looking at it over the weekend.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I think is do you think
Yeah,
there
I have
anything
to
else?
run. No,
Okay.
this is great though. Thank you so much for taking great work on the conviction voting parameters. Like just nice approach, and it looked really good. I have a lot of faith that it will actually work out.
Thanks, Griff.
Thank you,
Alright.
Ivy. I'll
See you
talk
again
to you
next.
soon.
Think. Bye.
Bye.